Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. In today's video, we're going to briefly analyze the key components that have witnessed Jurrien Timber transform into one of the best fullbacks in world football under Mikel Arteta. So when we break it all down and we do look at the board, we have Arsenal in a 4-3-3, and this is what we do expect to be Arsenal's strongest 11. Yes, there can be some changes, as we do have Eze out on the left-hand side, and we have seen Trossard play there. And we also know that Madueke did have a good start to the Premier League season when Bukayo Saka was injured, so we can also operate in the front line as well. When you look at the midfield trio, when healthy, it should be Zubamendi, Odegaard, and Rice in that zone. And then the backline has been consistent when all members have been fit. When you focus on Jurrien Timber, like several Arsenal players this season, he has played a key role in their success. And today we're briefly going to focus solely on Timber and highlight the one area that he's thrived in to help Arsenal evolve their game. As many of you know, when Arsenal look to build attacks, they do shift into a 3-2-5. And Timber normally operates as the right center back, with Gabriel shifting out towards the left center back role, and that's where you see Calafiori inverting into a central midfield position near Zubamendi, and Rice and Odegaard have the license to push higher up the pitch or push to the outsides of the opposing side's wide players to receive the ball in space to help progress Arsenal's attack. So when you focus on Timber's base role in this Arsenal 3-2-5, you would normally assume that his impact has been defensive, and what's interesting here is that while Timber has played a key role in Arsenal's recording the best defensive record in the Premier League this season to date, it hasn't been in solely 1v1 situations. What Timber has done very well here is that he has a knack of reading the play and then getting his foot into challenges to ensure that Arsenal retain possession in all areas of the pitch to help push forward. There are several examples where you witness Timber simply just following the progression of the opposing side's attack and then finding a timely manner to step in towards challenges and help win possession for Arsenal across the pitch. He's also done a very good job of serving as the cover help for a defensive duel, or ensuring that Arsenal create defensive overload so that he can win possession when they are being faced with a side breaking in towards their third. And there are just several scenarios where you witness Timber tracking the opposing sides breaking in towards the middle third or Arsenal's third, and him simply making timely challenges or pushing defenders out and towards wider areas and then winning possession to help Arsenal clear their lines. The other key area where Timber has enjoyed success out of possession is when the opposing side looks to play crosses from the right towards the back post, and he does a very good job of getting ahead of the wingers breaking in towards the 6-yard area and getting in towards those challenges to clear the lines, along with the fact that he does a very good job of blocking crosses in towards his own penalty area. So where the Arsenal center backs and Calafiori have rightly received plaudits this season, Timber is no slouch from a defensive aspect as well, but that's not where he's impacting the game the most. He's a very reliable passer across the pitch, and there are examples where you witness him playing balls out of the back to help build the attack and bypass the opposing side's press. He could play advancing passes towards runners that are breaking in towards attacking zones in the opposing side's third. There's one example in particular where you witness Timber inverting, and he plays the ball across his marker towards Calafiori, who's in that central midfield position, and they do a very good job of combining to pull markers out of possession. And from there, you witness Timber carrying the ball towards the left-hand side and sliding the ball towards Gabriel to help Arsenal progress their attack. And then in the final third, he does a very good job of finding teammates with vertical passes in between the lines, square passes across the penalty area, and ensuring that Arsenal retain and get into good possessions in the opposing side's third to place them in positions where Arsenal could generate high-quality chances. So then you have to look at Timber's activity when Arsenal dominate possession and predominantly have the ball in the opposing side's third. His movement is very aggressive out in the wider areas, and while Gyökeres's presence has provided many to believe that Gyökeres's movement is creating 1v1s for the wide players, it's actually Timber who's making those underlapping runs into advanced positions to drag away his marker, and it's created a lot of space for specifically Madueke when he was healthy to get into 1v1s down and towards those wider areas to create chances for himself and for his teammate. In the same breath, when Saka or Madueke have shifted out and towards wider areas, he does take advantage of the space that is presented towards him, and he has done a very good job of getting into advanced positions on the overlap. The problem here is that his delivery in those areas have been inconsistent, or he simply encountered difficulties getting the ball towards his teammates when he's been played in towards those zones. There are a few examples where he has been played in on the overlap and he's simply wasted the opportunities that he's been presented to create for his teammates. But on the flip side, there have been situations where he has done a very good job of making the run on the overlap, receiving the ball in right half space, and then delivering quality crosses in towards the 6-yard area, and his teammates haven't done a good job of connecting with those passes. Ultimately, there are two key areas where Timber has thrived in for Arsenal this season, and they haven't been out in the wide touchline zones as a conventional right back. It's been when he's inverted and got himself into narrow positions in the half spaces to help Arsenal progress their attack. One is due to his ball carrying skills, and he's able to pick up the ball from deeper positions, advance past his initial marker, which is the wide opposing left-sided player, and then break in towards the final third, where then he uses his passing ability to combine with teammates between the lines and help Arsenal get into high quality areas where they can generate high quality chances. And not only does he do this for his club, we've witnessed him do this for Holland as well, oddly enough, from a center back position where he simply picks up the ball from deep near the halfway line and carries it and bypasses the opposing side's midfield bank and progresses the attack, and it allows his teammates to get into advanced positions where they could generate high quality chances. And similarly, where Timber has done a very good job for the right-sided attacking players by making underlapping runs to drag away markers, when those markers don't follow him, he serves as a reliable passing option where he can receive the ball square from either Saka or Madueke, and we've seen him do a very good job of either playing them in behind the opposing side's backline to create chances, and the other avenue where he has been successful is when he plays the ball out towards the wide player and then continues his run to receive the square ball from the right-sided attacking player and then carries it in towards the final third to get to the opposing side's penalty area to combine with teammates and place them in legitimate goal-scoring positions. And then lastly, in the same breath, in those advanced narrow positions in the half space where he operates between the left center back and the left back, what you often see Timber doing is that he serves as a legitimate goal threat as well. There are several scenarios where you see him positioning himself in that zone with either Saka or Madueke hugging the touchline, and then serving as a reliable passing option to receive the ball in these zones and then present a goal threat in the final third. Timber was a legitimate threat against West Ham where he simply positioned himself in those zones, and when you look to a few examples, one, you see Odegaard playing a ball across two defenders for Timber, making a run off a marker, and from there Timber's able to break the challenge in the penalty area and get himself into a legitimate goal scoring position where he fires an effort on goal that the keeper saves comfortably. Shortly after that, this time it's Saliba splitting two West Ham players to find Timber breaking into that space between the opposing side's left back and left center back, and he receives the ball with his back to goal in the half space, but then turns towards his right foot and sees Gyökeres making a great run across the center back at the 6-yard area, and while he does a good job of delivering a quality crossing towards that zone, Gyökeres attacks it weirdly and the defender is able to clear the line. And then in the build up to the moment that killed off the game against West Ham, it's Zubamendi in space ahead of the midfield bank, and he locates Timber free in that gap between the left back and the left center back, and he clips the ball over the top for Timber to receive the ball again with his back to goal, and it allows the left back to recover his positioning, and he commits a foul around the penalty area that results in the referee awarding Arsenal a spot kick. So as you can see, while there are a few small areas that Timber can improve, from an all-round perspective, his impact in the half spaces in the final third, combined with his defensive impact out of possession, has witnessed the Dutchman serve as a reliable member of an elite Arsenal backline.